India faces US-Europe energy pressure. Will the Russia oil bond break? On one side, Ukraine is engulfed in flames. On the other, global efforts are underway to isolate Russia. And caught in the middle? India, whose thirst for energy grows with each passing day. But now it's not just about petrol or diesel anymore. The question is of India's sovereignty, its strategic wisdom, and, most importantly, will India bow to the threats from the US and Europe? Or will it protect its national interest and emerge victorious from this trial by fire? The two most powerful blocs in the world, America and Europe, stand with a sword hanging over India. And this isn't just a casual warning. It's the early rumble of an economic war, and today we'll dive deep into this issue. But before we begin, if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe so you're the first to get updates on our latest videos. Now, let's begin today's discussion without any delay. India shocked the world when it began purchasing discounted crude oil from Russia. At a time when the US and Europe imposed sanctions and turned their backs on Moscow, India prioritized its national interest and chose an energy security path that did not sit well with the West. Now, those very countries are pressuring India to change its oil strategy. But the question is, will India yield, or will it stand its ground like before? NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte and US President Donald Trump have delivered a direct message. If India, China, and Brazil continue to buy oil from Russia, they will face secondary sanctions. These aren't just words. They are powerful economic weapons that could severely impact India's exports, financial systems, and industries. The situation has escalated to the point where the Trump administration has already issued warnings of imposing tariffs as high as 100%. Just a few weeks ago, a bill was introduced in the U.S. Congress proposing tariffs of up to 500% on those trading with Russia. Despite this, India has not made any changes to its policy. India's stance remains clear. Unless there is a direct international ban on a product, it will seek the best deal, even if that means turning to Russia. And Russia was the very country that offered India crude oil at concessional rates when global prices were skyrocketing. India's refining companies quickly recognized this opportunity and secured Russian oil deals without hesitation. Today, this very strategy has become the backbone of India's economic stability. According to the global think tank GTRI, Global Trade Research Initiative, cheap oil from Russia not only helped India control inflation, but also maintained the overall macroeconomic stability of the country. And if India now steps back under pressure, it would not only cause financial harm, but also send a weak message that India changes its policies under external pressure. Meanwhile, India's oil imports from Russia continue to hit new highs. In the month of June, India imported 2 million barrels of crude oil per day from Russia, its highest figure since July 2024. The message is clear. Despite intense pressure and repeated warnings from Western countries, India has not changed its energy policy. Russia has now become India's largest oil supplier, overtaking traditional exporters like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. You might think these are just numbers, but in reality, they are proof of India's strategic autonomy. There was a time when Russia's share in India's oil imports was less than 2%. And today, that number stands around 35 to 36%. In 2024 alone, India purchased over $50 billion worth of oil from Russia, making up nearly one-third of its total crude imports. This isn't just ordinary trade, it's a strong strategic partnership that extends beyond energy and reflects a broader geopolitical balance. Behind India's strategy lies not just the lure of cheap oil, but also the flexibility that Russia offers. While Western countries have imposed a $60 per barrel price cap on Russian oil, along with restrictions on insurance and shipping, Russia has provided India with alternatives, alternative payment systems, new shipping arrangements, and an independent insurance framework. And India has taken full advantage of these options. But now, the United States wants India to abandon all of this. It wants India to play strictly by the rules set by Washington. The question is, will the US guarantee that if India stops buying oil from Russia, it will meet India's growing energy demands? Will it provide oil at affordable rates? And can it assure India that it won't be targeted with future tariffs or sanctions? Ajay Srivastava, the founder of GTRI, is clear on this. If India yields now, the US will come back with more demands tomorrow, and this cycle will never end. That's why India must not show any weakness in its current policy. Otherwise, it will not only weaken ties with Russia, but also damage India's global image. The Indian government is currently in a very delicate position. On one hand, it wants to maintain harmony with the US and European nations to move forward on matters like trade, technology, and investment. On the other hand, it does not want to strain ties with Russia, India's major oil supplier and a long-standing strategic ally. In this complex situation, the government is in continuous dialogue with Washington, trying to justify and explain India's energy security needs. India's needs are highly practical. 88% of its crude oil is imported. With such a massive dependency, even a single shock can rattle the entire economy. That's precisely why India must not succumb to any pressure that could destabilize prices or trigger domestic inflation. And this is the core reason why India continues to maintain its trade relationship with Russia. The real question now is, in the coming weeks, how firm will the US remain in its threatening stance? If the Trump administration actually enforces 100% secondary tariffs, it could be a serious blow to several sectors of the Indian economy. But there's another side to this. Will India yield so easily under pressure? All signs so far suggest no. Throughout history, India has shown that it does not bend unless its core self-interest is directly attacked. Whether it was oil trade during the Russia-Ukraine war or resisting US export pressure, India has consistently crafted policies based on what's best for its people, industries, and inflation control. And this time too, when the world tries to pull it in different directions, India stands firm.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.